Hey there, junior achievement students. I'm glad to be back with you again. Last time we talked about the triangle. Remember the triangle, and it had interests and it had values and it had skills. And you used that triangle to help you decide what was important to you and what you were going to use moving forward to make choices in your life. And you make choices based on understanding yourself, knowing how to do certain things were your skills, things that you were interested in, or things that you valued, things that were important to you. You also talked a little bit about career clusters, if you'll remember. Career clusters were groups of jobs that were related because they used the same skills or they were in the same industry. So maybe like highway patrol or sheriff or some sort of security worker, or perhaps information technology cluster where you might have database administrators or programmers or systems administrators or technical writers, all using some of the same skills and working in the same industry. So what do you do with that knowledge now? The whole goal in today's lesson is about be a success. What you want to do is you want to take your knowledge of that triangle and decide where you're going to go to get the skills and the training you need for whichever job that you make a choice to pursue. So when you get out of high school, you have more choices to make. You might have an opportunity to go to college. You might have an opportunity to go to a trade school or a junior college or some sort of a vocational technical school. You might choose to work for a while and get some skills in the working world. Or it could be that you make a choice to do some sort of an internship. There's lots of different ways to go. And what you will want to be thinking about as you make those choices is which one of those choices gets me closer to the goal that I have set. And we're going to talk about goals here in a little while, but the goal that I've set for my life, which one will get me the skills to get me closer to that? In my case, I made a choice to work in information technology. And some of the things that I thought about when I was making that choice, and I should tell you that I went away from it for a while, and then I realized why it was such a good choice for me, and I came back. So some of the things I like about information technology and my job as a project manager is I get to organize things. That's something that I enjoy doing. That's something that I value. I like to plan and look for really creative solutions, something kind of outside the box. And my job allows me to do that. So that is something that I also value and that I'm pretty good at it. So I have a skill for that as well. I like to learn about new technology. In the field I work in, nothing's ever the same 2 days in a row. Technology is always changing. And I get that opportunity to learn new things all the time. If you're somebody that values consistency and you don't like to learn new things, then technology might not be your choice. So that would be something you would consider. I also get to work with very smart people. Information technology attracts people who are generally very skilled and very bright, and I like to work with that sort of people. And then also in my job as a project manager, one of the reasons there are many information technology jobs. I started off as a programmer, and then I worked as a systems analyst, I've worked as a system administrator, I've worked as a technical writer, I've worked as a database developer. So I've done lots of different things in information technology in that cluster. But right now, I like to work as a project manager. And one of the reasons I like that is because it has a concept called servant leadership. I get to lead project teams, but I also get to serve the members of that project team by making their job easier. My job is to remove obstructions from their path. So I'm a servant leader. So those were the decisions I made that fit into my triangle and my cluster. But in order to get there, I had to decide how will I get the skills I need? And in my case, it was a combination of things. I went to school, to college, and I took some classes. I actually have a degree in English. I told you that last time. But I went back and I took classes specifically in information technology. I learned how to design databases, how to do logic, how to write code. I also took a lot of classes that were offered to me free by my company. And so that's another path you could go down if you were working. A lot of companies offer training, and I did some of that. My company also offered what's called tuition reimbursement. So if you get a job in a company that wants to encourage you to continue to learn, they might pay part of your tuition if you're an employee there. And then I also looked for certifications. I have a whole list of certifications that I've gotten that are technical in nature. I have a master's certificate in project management, for example, from Villanova. That was something I sought out. I have some certifications as a Scrum Master, some certifications as a tester. So there are different organizations that will offer you certifications in some fields as well. So in some fields you might need a degree, like if you were going to be a doctor, you would have to have a degree and then you would have to be able to go to medical school. In other fields you might not. I have a son who's right now working towards his journeyman's license as a carpenter. And that's really more on the job training than school training and working as an apprentice and working under somebody who's skilled in learning it. So your choice will be, here's where I am, here's the skills and the interests and the values I have. Here is the career I think I want to move towards. How do I get the skills that moves me from here towards that skill or towards that goal? And so let's talk about what a goal is. A lot of times we say, well, I want to do this or I want to do that, but is that really a goal? Because a goal is something that you want to do or something that you work towards, but it also has to have a plan attached to it. There's a famous quote from a man named Harvey Mackay, and he says, "A dream is just a dream, but a goal is a dream with a plan and a deadline." So what I want you to think about today when you're going through the lesson and the different pathways that you can get there and playing the game is to understand, here's where I am, here's where I want to go, this is a goal, what's my plan to turn this goal or this dream into reality, and by when do I want to get it done? Thank you for letting me spend time with you again, and I'm looking forward to the next session. Thank you.